Always, guys, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Also, hit that bell to be notified for future videos. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Fish Tank. I am Cole, and today we are working on a 1968 Dodge Charger, and today we're going to try to recreate Westen Champlin's Tater build. Let's jump into it. In this community, we are diecast related, but there is a gentleman of the name of Westen Champlin. He's a YouTuber here on YouTube, really big YouTuber. He does a lot of interesting conversions, and recently, in the past year, he bought himself a 1968 Charger that was a barn find. And it really interests me, and with that, I thought it would be a very cool idea to recreate the car as best as possible. So, the first couple things that was a challenge for this build was a 1968 Charger, because there's only a few castings. You could get this one, the Fast and Furious one, or you can get the one from the Bullet movies from Greenlight. So it was kind of a challenge for me to find a really cheap one, and B, find one at all. Because whenever you go look for this casting, the Fast and Furious one, it's always gone. And that was a big struggle for me. So luckily, with this awesome community that we are in, Mike over at Mike's Mods and Customs was able to send this my way. And Mike, if you're watching this, and I'm guessing you are going to be watching this, thank you again for the car, man. It really did help this build, because it was just one of those builds that I really wanted to do, and I was really inspired, and I do owe you one. And that is coming very soon, just so you know. Anyways, guys, so what we did for this video, we took it apart, re-drilled it, and we're tapping it right now. And we're just gonna move into that. After we're done with that, we're gonna do some fun stuff with this car. So stay tuned. Alright, after a short little break here, we're going to jump right into this. So I hope you guys enjoyed that little segment of the old chum bucket. So here is the engine that we're going to use in our build. This is from a wagon drag car, and in Weston's build for his 1968 Charger, he has this big old blower motor, and without me going out and spending $25 on 3D printed parts, I decided I'm going to use my resources, save a little money, and use what I got. So this is the closest I got. So when you guys are doing this, be very careful when you're using the Dremel. You know, safety first as always, as you guys saw. And just, when it comes to this, just take your time. You can make a clean cut if you go slow. If you rush it, you might cut into the piece that you need, and you don't want that. Guys, as you see here, the car is fully stripped from the stripper, except the back part. I think that was a decal. And now we're going to remove the hood. I know. Premium casting, and Cole is cutting up a premium casting. Don't worry, there is a meaning for this, and that is the car that Weston has doesn't have a hood. So we need to have the hood gone off this casting. So this is what we're doing. We're going to take our time, go very slow, and we're going to just cut off this hood. Yes, there was a small imperfection because I went a little too far, but honestly, it's not even that bad. So after you guys do this, take your time, like I said, for one. And two, make sure you grind and sand the edges so there's no sharp edges so you won't accidentally cut yourself. I've never personally cut myself on diecast, but I know people who have, and I hear it is not fun. So as you see here for the Fast and Furious portion of this was a rear-engined car. And this whole piece was chromed, and I was just like, this is not necessary. We don't need this clone. We need to black this out, because A, the interior in his car is actually black, and B, I just don't like the over-chromed, because I like to make sure the grill of the car is blackened, and it takes a couple minutes to make sure this dissolves, as you see here, but once it does that, I flip it over, and then I get to look at this. So if you guys look very closely, I've done this before, you can kind of see the bubbles, and it's kind of cool. Science time. at the fish tank. I'm kidding. We're not going to make that a thing, but it's just a cool reaction. After that is all done and dried, we go out to the paint booth and we spray it in our matte black, and it gives it a nice look. After that, we're going to move on to paint.
Meanwhile, back in the fish tank.
So with today's paint job, we're doing something a little different. So what I did was a 3-layer process: flat black, regular primer, and then this rust colored primer. And what you guys see me doing here is, well, is I am lightly using a wire wheel to remove the paint. So on the door of his car, I'll put a picture up here, there's some slightly green, and I believe the car at one point in time was green. So what I did was, before I put on this brown primer, I painted the door in this like forest green color, and I just wanted to show that detail. And then with the rest of the car, I kind of just guessed because it was really patchy. The real car is really patchy like, and I just tried my best to show the colors off as best as possible and just kind of make it look wear and tear, you know, not perfect at all. Because in real life, it's not a perfect car. The body isn't, or in the paint. So I kind of have to match that as best as possible. So on this side, it was a little bit more worn, and I had to dig a little bit. So I kind of just pressurized it until I got to the flat black, and it honestly looks really cool. So I have no complaints. And this process took a little bit because I was like, I don't know how much pressure I want to put on it. I don't know what I want to do. But once I started getting the door through, my head just sparked with ideas, and I was like, all right, let's get on. Let's do this. We can do this right, and we won't have to do it again. And I didn't. Before we move on to clear coat, I wanted to make the car look a little dusty and crusty, a little bit more than it is, kind of give it a more faded look. So what I did was I grabbed my weathering palette, and I decided just to go with some really light dust. So I have sand, wet sand, and then I think mud. So with this, I believe it was the sand and then the wet sand. I wanted to give it more of that look like it had like dust on it, and honestly, with the clear coat on top of it, it did the effect that I wanted it to. So I was pretty happy with that. Also, guys, I do gotta apologize for my really poor camera angles. I was just not thinking, and I have not been the best cameraman as of late. Don't worry, in future videos, we will do much better. Do you remember what I was talking about earlier in the video and how I didn't like to all the chrome? This is why, because it makes my life so much easier. I don't gotta hand paint the grill. So that's why I paint all of my stuff in flat black. It's just so I can outline everything in chrome and make my life 10 times easier. So if you guys want to do that, it's just a small suggestion. I would. It saves you guys so much time, and the end result looks so much better than if you hand painted it. With this said, there's a couple of little edits we got to make. So the body's all done and all the interior stuff's done. But we got to go to the glass here. And if you see this little clip here, it's in the way of our motor. So that just had to go. We have to cut that off real quick. With that said, we're going to put the whole car back together real quick just to see if it fits right. And in the end, it fit perfectly. And I was very happy with it. So the last thing we have to do, the last two things, is we have to paint our rims black, and we did that off camera, and we have to trim our motor mounts, in a sense, quote unquote. These are like motor mounts. So with that said, is what we're going to do here is, again, we're going to take our grinder, or our wire disc, really using this a lot in this video, and we're just going to cut it off. I think Keith from Outlaw Speed Shop would be very proud of me for using my disc, because I know him. He likes to cut things up, and I normally don't cut things up, but in this video I really did, and I see what the fun is in cutting up these little cars. So thank you, Keith. After done with this, let's move on and see what we started with. This is what we started with, guys. We started with this 1968 Fast and Furious Dodge Charger. And first off, before I go any further, thank you, Mike's Mods and Customs, for providing this car. And thank you for guys for watching the video, of course. But today, what we did was we made a Tater build, aka Westen Champlin's 1968 Charger. Let's go see the final result. And here is our final results. Here is my Tribute Tater Westen Champlin 1968 Charger. Honest, I think it looks better than the Fast and Furious car, but that's just me. So as you guys see here, we have the clear coat on, the matte clear coat, and here is our weathered Charger. Looks very cruddy and ruddy. Looks like it's been sitting in a garage for a long time. Then when it spins over here, we can see where we cut out the hood a little bit, and we can see that big old motor popping out of the hood. Also, guys, if you haven't seen Weston's videos or anything of that sort, please go check him out. He's a really funny guy, and you can actually maybe learn a thing or two. And guys, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Thank you for watching the video, and I will see you in the next one.